Graham Coxon is the anti-hero of Britpop. He was like a noise punk guitarist who got shoved on the stage with a genius songwriter. He took the perfect pop craftsmanship of Damon Albarn. He added attitude, irreverence, and a bit of magic. Coming up with 3 tips feels almost like it goes against everything Graham Coxon stands for. He doesn't follow conventions, he doesn't have a go-to scale or riff. Every part he plays feels bespoke to the song. But nevertheless, I've done 3 tips that will help you get closer to playing like Graham Coxon. And hey, I'm Drew. This is Guitar Mammoth, where we talk about indie and alternative rock. If you like how that sounds, hit the subscribe button. And if you want free tabs for this, just click the link below. Tip number 1 is weird chords. A lot of guitarists use extended chords, but Graham Coxon goes one step further. He's creating chords that are just odd and don't fit normal chord structure. So an example of this, a great example of this, is Coffee and TV. So the first chord is a B major, and now you'd normally want to play a B major here at the 7th with a bar chord. You know, your usual 7, 9, 9, 8, 7, 7. It's a lovely sounding chord, B major. But what Graham does is he takes the root, the B, and he takes the major 3rd, which is up here, and he plays it this way, and then drops in an extra major 3rd. So it's like an octave that's built here off the 6th fret. So 6 and 8 on the A and the G, but with this B in the bass. Because he's doubling the major 3rd, that feels like it should be the root, but then your brain's tricked because you've also got this B in the bass, and so yeah, the whole thing makes you feel a little bit off kilter, a little bit bit uneasy, and the whole track is built around this chord shape because you open with it. And then when he does this, that's an A minor. But instead of playing all these notes, just cuts out all of those. He just does the root and the minor 3rd. So that is the 5th on the E string and the 5th on the G string. Then this octave at 9 and at 7. With the open E ringing out, and then he does the same shape as the opening shape down here on at the 3rd, so that makes it a G. And then he plays an F, but then again he's leaving out notes, leaving strings ringing, which is these 2, the high B and the E. When you see Graham play, you'll notice that he wraps his thumb around. That's the other thing. So he'd play it like that, but yeah, I'm playing it like this. And then the same shape again, but here at the 6th. So 6, 5, dead, and then 7. And then a good old traditional, what is that, C sharp. And the other example of this weird chord thing is an absolute classic again, and that is Song 2. He's doing this thing that he nicked from Weezer. Instead of playing 8, 10, 10, which would be an F power chord, he is adding the bass here on the 8th of the E string. So it's 8, 8, 10. What's happening there, similar to the coffee and TV example, he's doubling notes that you wouldn't expect to be doubled. So he's doubling the 5th of the chord, which is this note up here on the 10th. He's doubling that on the low E string. And while the chord is an F, normally you'd hear it like that, but and it sort of muddies it up, it thickens it. And when you've got all the distortion on and everything else, it just creates this huge wall that just punches you in the face. And why the track sounds so epic. And it's why it's confused people for so long, because they think that there's lots of bass being layered up and with fuzz, which there is, but it's not just that. It's been thickened by this chord. And so the opening plays it without that note. So you've got when he goes full beats, he brings in that extra note, which is a 5th in the bass. So tip number 2 is wrong notes. Now, a lot of guitar YouTube and a lot of music theory is all about avoiding wrong notes. Like that's kind of what guitar theory is, or music theory is. Graham fucks all that off. He doesn't follow what the key is. He doesn't use a scale shape. The reason why it works, because there's a lot of wrong notes in it, in the sense of they're dissonant and they jar. A lot of what makes it work is at times he is following what's going on underneath. And here on the 12th fret, there's a B, and that's how he opens, because the first chord, as we discussed, is a B. So he opens with this B here on the B string at the 12th fret. And then there's other little phrases where he's bending here at the 11th and landing on the 9th. That's following the. And then at the end, he's going these wild bends that are coming in and out of pitch, and then sliding up to an E here, 21st fret, and does a wild bend on that. And again, all of these follow the chords that are going on underneath, but in between he's just bending wildly in and out of pitches and creating all this unease and dissonance. And a lot of it is just commitment. That's the difference between a good wrong note and a bad wrong note, is just commitment and the conviction to just stick with it. And once you've created this tone, this world where wrong notes are allowed, he's just free to express himself. And it's like Jackson Pollock throwing paint at a canvas. He's throwing notes at the song and just seeing what happens, and it's pure creative expression, and that's why it's incredible. tip number 3 is odd timing. So yeah, you see a bit of a theme to this lesson. It's all about breaking the rules, and this third point's just the same. And a great example of this is Beetlebum. And the reason it sounds so odd and creates this really woozy feeling is all to do with the slide at the beginning. So the riff goes like this. So slides in guitar tend to be used to announce something's about to come. It's almost like the guitarist is saying, hey, look at me, I've got something impressive coming. It's about to happen. And then it happens. So it's like a precursor. And that's in our minds. We've been hardwired to think like that. So your ear is thinking the 3 hits on the A chord here at the 5th. You think that's the one. You think it's and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. That's how you feel it, because the guitar starts on its own before the drums. That's how you feel the rhythm. And then as soon as the drum beat comes in, you're like, whoa, that's weird. It just feels so odd. And it's because this slide is the first beat. So instead of treating it as the announcement before it's actually the first beat of the bar. So the drums drop exactly as the slide comes. And that is what makes it sound off kilter and weird. It's the fact that it's not lining up where you expect it to be. It's lining up earlier, and it gives this jolt feeling at the beginning. And it's just one little example of how Graham uses odd timing throughout his playing, and another approach to playing that just rips up the rulebook. So that's it. 3 tips on how to play more like Graham Coxon. I absolutely love his playing. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Hit like, hit subscribe, and yeah, catch you on the next video.